Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the wonderful world of Morrowind, where I decided to set up camp and spend the night here, outside this dwemer ruin. We evidently were not interrupted because we rested all the way to 6 AM, and it's all fine now, although the weather's a bit cloudy and horrible, and it's kind of dark out here, but still. Now then. I don't know much about dwemer sites, really. Look at these towers, it must have been amazing before it was ruined. Yes, probably was. However, right now I need you to carry my bedroll, as per usual. Thank you. He also learned a new spell. Paralysed, apparently. I got that message pop up after I finished resting, which is interesting, so... yeah, you can paralyse people now. We haven't trained you today, have we? Once per day in any skill you have a higher level than he does, yeah. Tell me about your current skills. Not too shabby, really. Trying to improve one of your skills, my lad. Let's see. Magic skills. What am I quite good at? I'm not really sure, to be honest. Suppose I'm alright at conjuration. So that really wasn't worth bothering with, but never mind. You've learned something new, my boy. Now then. It's a bit brighter now. Right. Yeah, because that would have taken time. I forgot. Training takes time in this game, including when you're training him as well. So an hour or so probably passed. Yep, 7 AM now. Alright then, well. Let's gird ourselves for the task of entering Nshulefting. I don't know how to pronounce it. Which we are exploring for no other reason than idle curiosity. Now, yes, my magic items have recharged, most of them anyway, so that's good news. Oh boy, it's dark in here, okay. Definitely going to need the Amulet of Star Vision for this. Hey, who are you? Now, you don't look unfriendly.
Strange.
Right. Senilius Caduceus. I'm Senilius Caduceus, and this is my daughter Pania. We are excavating these dwemer ruins. Are you indeed? What do you want? Nothing, apparently. Other than to take these. Apparently you don't have a problem with that. Excavating these ruins, eh? Just rob them blind, because we are two very well armed individuals and they are not. What are you going to do about it, eh? Remember what I said, Julan. Must be the bigger bastard. Ever hope to get ahead in this world? It will be inevitably by screwing everyone else over sooner rather than later. Test of pattern. Oh dear, it's a puzzle. Oh no. Ouch. 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 Don't like this puzzle. Not even slightly. Ouch. That's... wow. Okay. Where is... there it is. We've opened... ah! A secret door. Excellent. Right then. Got there in the end. Process of elimination. Shoe lifting. Lower levels. Now let me guess. This place has not been excavated properly yet. And therefore it's full of beasties. I expected this place to be full of Daedra because we found a scamp outside, but I guess that was just an odd coincidence. Got a Steam Centurion. Looks like he's been deactivated. Sphere Centurion, rather. Journal's been updated. I found Anes Vendu's body. Apparently. This is Anes Vendu, and I found his body. Cornelius' report. Excavation report, 11-hour excavations have turned up little in these last few days. I found nothing new in the ruins. Everything seems clean. As clean and undisturbed as the day we first opened the outer doors. I know there are unexplored depths. I can feel massive dwemer machinery still running beneath my feet even as I write this, but I can find no way to get to it. It's not giving up on us for a lack of results. The sooner we win it, I am sure a great discovery lies somewhere below. If only the secret of Passwall were not lost nearly a generation ago. With a few of those precious scrolls, I would be in the lower levels already, where the real discoveries are to be made. Passwall, yeah, no clip. Basically. There is some good news. I've also discovered that Mzuleft you were looking for. Apparently Mzuleft is the proper name for the large dwemer ruins south of Dagon Fell. Be careful not to confuse them with the ruins of Nishardark nearby. The last of the dwemer Centurion spiders in the upper levels was finally disabled and dismantled for study. I wish we could study them while they were still active, but that is far too dangerous. I also heard a strange story about the Centurion spider that we captured and sent back to Cyrodiil. The ship captain I hired wrote to me with an odd story. He said that the spider nearly broke through its cage several times while near Vardenfell, but once he left the Sea of Ghosts, the Centurion suddenly stopped working. What happened next shows that he had more wits than I gave him credit for. He ordered the ship turned about, and as they approached Vardenfell again, the Centurion began moving just as suddenly. This is a curious phenomenon, and certainly deserves more investigation. Your servant, Cornelius Caduceus. And a copy of Hanging Gardens of Western Corridale. This book was apparently written in Dwemer and translated to Aldmeris. Only fractions of the Aldmeris is readable, but it may be enough for a scholar of Aldmeris to translate fragments of other Dwemer books. Guide, Altmer Estriel led with foot flames for the town centre where lay dead the quadrangular gardens. Asked the foundations and chains and vessels their naming places, why they did not use solid ground to teach escape from the earth bones, nor nourish them with frozen flames. The word I shall have once written of this art our lesser cousins speak of when their admirable ignorance, but neither words nor experience cleanses the essence of the strange and terrible ways of defying our ancestors' transient rules. The translation ends with a comment in Dwemer in a different hand, which you can translate. Put down your ardent cutting globes, Nibthuld. Your Aldmeris has the correct words, but they cannot be properly misinterpreted. This seems like a very rare book. It's only worth 50 though. I wonder if it's worth anything to the guys upstairs. What do I have a mug? No thank you. Ah, hello. Oh, it's one of the bloody poison spiders. Oh yeah, my sword is recharged as well. Very nice. Aha! Here's what we came for. Treasure, my lad. Yeah. I was hoping for more than that, but never mind. Raw ebony. Nice. Technically illegal, but I won't tell if you don't. Level 25 and trapped, eh? Well, this one I can get open. Dwemer right pauldron. No thank you. Ancient Dwemer door key. Journeyman armorer's hammer. Need it right now on this. My armor skill is so awful it barely made a difference, but hey. Now this. Do I have any more scrolls of opening? Scroll of greater lock bashing. That seems a bit of a waste on a lock level 25. Can't cast on Deuce's open door. I wish I could, but I can't. And there's my spell, which is not terribly good and usually fails, but we can give it a go. Oh! It worked for once. Alright, now then. We need some telekinesis. Stand back, Julan. This could be messy. Oh, cast it again. Doesn't last very long. There we go. Another pauldron, another door key, and another journeyman armorer's hammer. Really. Someone at Bethesda was feeling a bit lazy when they made this dungeon. We'll just copy-paste the chest twice. Ugh. These are worth bits and bobs, but they're also kind of heavy, so I'm not going to bother with them. Well, there we go. I'm reasonably sure, out of character knowledge and everything, that I'm reasonably sure this is a part of a Mage's Guild quest. Oh, hello. Oh god, there's two of them. Yeah, he's trying his new paralyze spell, but it ain't working. Still, it'd be good if it did work. I'm reasonably sure it's probably either you're not skilled enough, or maybe these guys are just very resistant to paralysis. But if you can make that spell work, it'll be incredibly useful in fights. Not much else here than a big pit of lava. Ooh, hang on a minute. There's this upstairs. Now, can I get to you? You know what else I need, actually, right now? Oh, I also have an amulet of health. I didn't realise that. I have so many healing items, it's so good. I rarely have to use potions. Use that, and this. And now... I'd rather cast Levitate myself, to be honest with you, just for the sake of increasing my skill. But, it's gonna take a little while for my magicka to restore. I cast it now. There we go. And there you go, rest and meditate on what you've learned. Alteration and skill increase to 46. See, it's worth doing. Oh my days. What are you? Oh yes, it's so useful that you can levitate. See, you are well on the path, my dear fellow, to becoming a useful and important person. Just needs a little bit more effort on the mental side of things, mind over matter and all that. You have the abilities, you just need the determination to make something of yourself. Instead of... That was on purpose! I was increasing my acrobatic skill. No funny comments. Instead of, as I was going to say, before I interrupted myself, instead of faffing around outside the ghost fence, trying to pluck up the courage to just walk in. As I did. I wasn't looking forward to it, but I did it anyway. Mind over matter. And I am certainly no worse for wear for it, either. Really, honestly, if the old man can trot off into the middle of Red Mountain without any problems, I'm sure you'll be fine. We found your dead friend. Did you find Anis Vendu? Did you get the excavation report? I found Anis Vendu. I fear he might be dead. This is terrible news. I should never have left him to explore these ruins alone. Did you find the excavation report? Found the report. Deliver it to Edwina Albert in Aldrune. I will continue my work here. Now that the lower levels are open, perhaps we can make more discoveries here in honour of our deceased colleague, Anis Vendu. What about this book, then? This book is written in both dwemer and Aldmeris. If you can find a scholar who can read Aldmeris, this might well be the translation key we've been looking for. This is a very exciting discovery. I only wish Anders Vendu could share it with us. Yes, well, he's dead. Woohoo! Let's move on. Where's the exit? It's over here. Nice to be back out in the fresh-ish air again. The volcanic fresh air, but there it is. Filled with dust and, yeah, well, anyway, never mind. Alright, well, we shall continue onwards to the Erabenimsununmisnunninum camp, it would seem, and we also have been instructed to take this report to Edwina Elbert in Alderun, who I believe is a member of the Mages Guild, and maybe we'll get a reward out of it. We'll see. It's interesting that you can do it that way, actually, that you can just sort of barge in there and you can kind of do part of the quest yourself if you have the initiative to go down there and figure out the puzzle yourself and find Anders Vendu in the book and the excavation report. And you come back up and the NPCs are actually like, oh, you found it, excellent, well, you know, take it to so-and-so. Random person. As opposed to it being a sort of thing whereby, you know, like the lazy thing to do, and what probably they would have done, to be honest with you, if it was in Oblivion or Skyrim or whatever, would have been, you would have had those two guys there, and they wouldn't have had much to say to you if you weren't part of the Mages Guild doing that specific quest, and there would have been a door leading into the puzzle room that would have been locked, needs a key. And you wouldn't be able to get the key unless you were doing that specific quest. But enough of my rambling. We are going roughly the right way. Judging by the topography here, there's sort of a valley sort of here, and then we just follow that, and then make a turn south, and we'll arrive at the Erabenimsununmisnunninum camp. And then from there, I can have a look in my journal, and we can see about picking up the trail of this individual we are hunting. Oh, it's a stonking great lava river, look at this. Flame Atronach over there somewhere, I think. Yep. Oh man, this is what I love about Morrowind. All these fantastic, like, you know, outlandish locations. Lava rivers and deserts made of completely of ash, and that's why Oblivion was such a disappointment to me, to be honest with you, when it came out, because it was just copy-pasted European countryside, really. And I'm sure that's fine for people who don't live in Europe. But after this, you know, I found it a distinct disappointment, I have to be honest. That's why I'm hoping for, that's why, you know, people always do, whenever I do a stream or something, one of the topics that inevitably comes up in chat is, where do you think the next Elder Scrolls game should be set? And I always say Black Marsh, because Black Marsh is the only other place that Bethesda have created in their wider sort of lore, if you like. Ah, of course, it is a clever racer. That actually has sort of the level of bizarritude, that's a word, damn it, bizarreness, weirdness that this place has, you know. I want them to make something weird and crazy and strange again, and I don't want to see, because there are loads of people who always say stuff like Hammerfell, and I'm just like, dude, I've seen enough deserts in games. I don't, you know, Hammerfell's just sort of a sort of vaguely medieval Middle Eastern province. I mean, that's just, we've seen that done so many times before. It's boring. Give me swamps full of living sentient trees and giant crocodile monsters and floods and strange bizarre diseases, and come on, that's what I want. That's what I want. I want something weird. I want something strange. Speaking of weird and strange, it's a page from History of the Empire. And there's more. And they lead in this direction. Okay. Who the hell are you? And are these Shalk hostile? Doesn't look like it. Shalk herder. Oh. Probably is a good thing I didn't run up and immediately start trying to kill his Shulk. And oh look, Talvani Tower over there. And this would be the Erabenimsununmisnunninum. That is indeed how you pronounce it. Camp. Ashlander camp. So this is where you used to live, Julan. Not specifically here, but a place very much like it, I imagine.
I could kill that Gor. Those boots are ruined.
Hello, Kumu. Outlander, you'll find no welcome here, I'm afraid. Train Julan? Oh, I can pay for you to train Julan. Oh, okay, right. What do you think about Julan? He's outcast. What are you doing here, outcast? If your own tribe will not have you, then you may be sure we will not. Okay. Well, while we're here talking to an Ashlander, we might as well get ourselves a bit of a lore dump. See what they think about things. Tell us about your people. Ashlanders are the nomadic dwemer barbarians of the Morrowind wastelands they live in. Okay, right, just some generic dialogue that doesn't quite fit. Very good. Daedra cults. Temple forbids the worship of the four bad Daedra. Blah 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 blah. More generic dialogue. I was hoping for something more specific to an Ashlander. But apparently not. Imperials came out of the west and tricked the gods of the settled people. The false gods called the Tribunal. Now the Imperials act like they own Morrowind, and they claim we are ruled by their chief, the one they call Emperor. We think nothing of this foolishness, but they have great armies of soldiers in armor who come and burn our yurts and slay our children. So we hate them, but we must remember to be quiet and patient and cunning, as Boethia has taught us. What do you think about Mabragash then? Mabragash is an Ashlander witch warrior, a renegade wise woman who has forsaken the established rules of behavior for an Ashlander woman to become a master of dark magic and the weapons of war. Tell us about Vvardenfell. Yeah, more generic dialogue. What about orcs? The orcs are savage half-men that the Westerners call human. They should go back to their mountains in the west and leave us alone. The Emperor uses them as his soldiers, and they are indeed fierce warriors, cunning with leather and steel. Can you tell me about Siltstriders? Carry passengers and cargo between settlements on Vvardenfell. Fares depend on the distance to be travelled. Siltstriders are giant insects. A compartment for passengers and cargo is hollowed out from the creature's shell. The driver directs the beast by directly manipulating exposed organs and tissues. Siltstriders travel between Alderun, Valmar, blah 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 blah, etc. etc. What is your trade? I'm a scout. I know places, people, plants, paths, wind, and weather. I serve as a guide for travellers and traders, or work as an advanced guard and pathfinder for expeditions. I know the geography of Vvardenfell and the various geographic regions. My best defense is stealth, sneaking past trouble, but I can fight bow or blade in various armor styles when the job requires it. Police car! Ashlanders, Altmer. Altmer are the tall, light-skinned elves of the west. They were once like us, but they became soft and foolish. They abandoned their ancestors and put their faith in big buildings and sorcery. The great fathers of our great fathers were kin of the Ultima, but the prophet Veloth led us out of the west and brought us here so our rights and customs could remain pure. So you could live in a muddy hole in the ground. In tents. Right. I'm wondering if maybe the Ultima had the right idea, but okay. Argonians? Argonians are the savage half-men of the southern marshes. Our people used to keep them as slaves, but they are useless. The settled people still keep them as slaves to grub the soil. They are dirty and wicked, and we should drive them all back into the swamps they came from. Bosmer. The Bosmer are foreigners, outlanders. They live in trees and eat nothing but meat. We have no forests here. Why don't they go back to where they came from? I'm sensing a theme here. Bretons. Bretons are outlanders, foreigners, westerns. They don't belong here. They should go back to where they came from. Yeah. Them Bretons taking all our gerbs. How about Dagothr? Dagothr is the devil and the enemy. Dagothr and his beasts and servants are the source of the many evils that beset the Dunmer and Morrowind. Dagothr dwells in fiery caverns beneath Red Mountain, served by his kin called ash vampires, and by legions of deformed monsters. We've bumped into a couple. Corpus stalkers, anyway. Disturbing dreams? Speak to a wise woman, they know the law of dreams. Do you have a wise woman here I could speak to? Might be worth a try. Because we have been having some very odd dreams. About Nerevar. In ancient days, the Deep Elves and a great host of outlanders from the west came stealing the land of the Dunmer. In that time, Nerevar was the great Khan and war leader of the House people, but he honoured the ancient spirits and the tribal law and became one of us. So when Nerevar pledged upon his great ring of the ancestors, one clan under Moon and Star, to honour the ways of the spirits and rights of the land, all the tribes joined the House people, fighting a great battle at Red Mountain. Though many Dunmer tribesmen and housemen died at Red Mountain, the dwemer were defeated and the evil magics destroyed, and the outlanders driven from the land. But after this great victory, the power-hungry Khans of the great houses slew Nerevar in secret, set themselves up as gods, and forgot Nerevar's promises to the tribes. But Nerevar will come again and cast down the false gods, and by the power of his ring will make good his promises, honour the spirits, and drive the outsiders from the land. So these guys clearly have a very different take on the whole Battle of Red Mountain thing. Nerevarine? We Velothi have a prophecy that one day a reincarnation of the legendary hero Nerevar will unite the Dunmer against the Outlander invaders, driving them from our land and restoring the ancient faith and honour of the Dark Elven peoples. Police car. As taught by the prophet Veloth, you are an outlander, so it is not proper that we should speak with you about this. I'm going to ask you about the Nerevarine cult anyway, though. That's an Ashlander cult that believes that the ancient hero Nerevar will be reborn to cast down the temple and drive the Imperials out of Morrowind. Yeah. Red Mountain. Red Mountain is the great mountain of fire in the centre of Vardenfell. The outer slopes are steep and rugged, and the crater is deep and filled with burning rock. Beasts and servants of the devil Dagothr live on Red Mountain. The settled people built a great magical barrier called Ghost Fence to keep evils inside. Within the Ghost Fence, the rain never falls and the sun never shines. The only weather is the red and deadly Ash Blight. Ghost Fence. The Ghost Fence is a magic wall around Red Mountain. The settled people created this barrier to keep the devil Dagothr and his beasts and servants trapped in Red Mountain. I see. Well, thank you very much, Kumi. You've been very helpful. I'm going to go look for a wise woman, and then we'll see about wise woman's yet. Right, are we allowed to go in? Is this like, am I going to go in there and like they're all going to try and kill me for sort of... Alright, I'll just get on with it, shall I? Manirai. Manirai, hello. Excuse, would you mind turning around and speaking to me, perhaps? I am Manirai, wise woman of the Erabenimsununnism. Do you need my services, or do you seek my counsel? Erabenimsununnism? The war-loving Erabenimsununnism love themselves and their weapons above all else. Our Ashcan Ulathpal is cruel, arrogant, and ambitious, and his Gulakans are just like him, except for Han Amu. Sounds like I'd get on with this fellow wonderfully. Or I'd have to kill him. One of the two. Ulathpal. Ulathpal is always in his yurt, protected by his bodyguard, Gula Khan Ahaz. I am just a weak woman, and I am sure you would know best. But I would kill Ahaz first, the weaker of the two, and if I had secret magics and powers, I would use them to preserve me while I defend against two enemies. Slow down, lady. I'm not killing anyone. Not without a good reason. Council. I warn you, be wary of Ashkan and Ulathpal and his supporters. They all hate Outlanders and love nothing more than to kill them and loot them. They do not respect custom or hospitality, and they think nothing of killing unarmed men, women, or children. They are bad men and bad leaders, and you should fear them. Okay. Disturbing dreams. These dreams are the sendings of the Sharmat, Dagoth They are evil sendings, black lies. Do not listen to these dreams, or they will drive you mad. I was doing my best not to listen to them, to be fair, but... What have you got for sale, then? Potion of Cure Blight Disease. I will have both of those, thank you very much. And your marshmallow and your salt rice. To make health potions with. Not that I really need many more at the moment, but... Wind salt. That's new and interesting. I've never seen that before. Corn lily bulb. Holly berries. Where did you get holly berries from? All the way down here in the Ashlands. Crikey. Huh. Alright. I'll barter you down a bit. There we go. Spell making. Ooh. Could I make an open spell that is slightly... I run into a lot of locks level 25, you see. Which is kind of awkward because my Amulet of Opening only does 20. So if I made a little spell that just did 25... We'll call it Knock. As in knock on the door, you know. Whatever. Spell chance 72%. Point cost is not nearly as big though. Yeah, let's do it. You spell,
Quickly, Outlander, I haven't much time.
Not actually 72% chance though, it's 91. Very good. That's better than trying to use Fathis Lockpick. Well, it's slightly better. I mean, there's more chance of successfully casting it, and it doesn't use up as much magicka, so yeah, that's a win-win. Alright then. Well, it sounds like we should probably scarper on out of here before they all turn against us and try and lynch us, for being Outlanders. So let's have a look in the old journal, shall we? Actually, you know what? We will look in the journal next time, folks. I've just realised the time. So, thank you very much for watching. Sorry to be such a tease, but I will see you next time, where we will be leaving the Erabenimsun camp as hastily as possible.
Speak, traveler.
And continuing our journey to find a gentleman whose name I don't even remember. What was his name? Serene Sadus, that's the one. Serene Sadus, we're looking for him. Renegade Outlander. Outlander? Ashlander, sorry, my bad. Anyway, that will be next time. Thanks very much for watching, everybody, and I'll see you then.